Hello and welcome to Quincy in Focus, Quincy Access TV's news magazine show. My name is Jonathan Caleri and I'm the Executive Director here at Quincy Access TV. Leading off this edition, the Quincy City Council recently appointed Anthony Andronico as the new Ward 2 Quincy City Councilor. Andronico, appointed to fill a vacancy upon the departure of former Councilor Brad Kroll, was chosen amongst a pool of candidates during a special meeting of the Council.
I've had the pleasure of serving with Anthony on the school committee for I guess you're in your 4th year. I'm in my 14th year. You're definitely aging better than I did, Anthony. But it's been a pleasure to work with Anthony because he was always so respectful, always so thoughtful, always did his homework. Never saw him get too worked up about things, perhaps inside, but you put up a good face. You ran a great meeting, always accommodating folks that had an opinion, which I think is so important. I think that Ward 2 and the City Council is going to be very fortunate to have you representing Ward 2 and become part of this great deliberative body that's so important in keeping the city moving forward. So again, my personal congratulations. Certainly on behalf of the administration, we look forward to working with you, and I know we'll be catching up on submissions as we go forward.
Having someone like you join this body, mid-pivot and mid-pandemic couldn't be more perfect because I've seen what you've done leading the school committee. You, as well as head of a body with the pandemic dealing with new things, not only had to pivot to make sure that your body was able to continue their work that they're tasked to do, but you took on a behemoth of an effort, right, in leading the city and reopening the schools, what that process looks like, and finding a new superintendent. I mean, you had these challenges put in front of you with no handbook on how to do it. And I think you mastered it. I think you really set the bar for whoever comes next for you. And so to bring that to this body is something that I think we're really lucky to have. I'm looking forward to all the expertise that you've brought in your leadership with the school committee, but also with your job at the State House. I think, just your knowledge and the resources that you're bringing to the table is going to be something that will be really beneficial to all of us.
I, Anthony Andronico,
I, Anthony Andronico,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I bear true faith and allegiance
to the Commonwealth of
to the
Massachusetts,
Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and I will support the Constitution thereof.
and I will support the Constitution thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Anthony Andronico,
I, Anthony Andronico,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member of the Quincy City Council,
as a member of the Quincy City Council,
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my abilities
and understanding,
and understanding,
agreeably
agreeably
to the rules and regulations of the Constitution
to the rules and regulations of the Constitution
and the laws of the Commonwealth
and the laws of the Commonwealth
and the ordinances of the City of Quincy,
and the ordinances of the City of Quincy.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I, Anthony Andronico,
I, Anthony Andronico,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Over the last 3 years, serving as a member of the school committee and over the last year as vice chair, I've been able to meet some fantastic people that have helped me along the way. And, I've built many personal connections, and it's helped me realize that that's what public service is all about. It's about building those connections. It's about helping your neighbor. It's about helping your community and making sure that everyone in your community gets the opportunities that they deserve to thrive and to flourish. And I think back about my great-grandparents who emigrated from Italy over 100 years ago and settled down in Quincy Point and worked hard to make a better life for future generations of their family. My promise to the people of Ward 2 and the people of Quincy is that I'll work hard to make sure that they get the same opportunities that the city afforded mine, and that I'll treat them like family moving forward as well. So with that, I want to thank you all for your support, and I look forward to working with you.
With Anthony Andronico's appointment to the Quincy City Council, a vacancy occurred on the Quincy School Committee. During a recent joint convention of the Quincy City Council and the Quincy School Committee, the body voted Courtney Perdios to fill the open seat. Supporters of Perdios, who ran for school committee in 2019 but finished in 4th place, cited her continued work on the citywide PTO and dedication to the city's students as reasons why she should be appointed.
She's a tireless advocate in our community on various projects that she's worked on in organizations. She's certainly the type of person who, once she has something in her head, she will work at it and at it and at it. While I may not always agree with every position she has, I have no doubt that she'll be a valuable member to the school committee.
She's organized countless forums for parents across the district on common issues and concerns. As many of you know, in 2019, she ran for school committee. She earned nearly 6,000 votes in the process. We also know that Solicitor Timmons provided the council with the memo citing the 1953 state law or special act that the vacant seat should be filled by the defeated candidate who garnered the highest number of votes in the prior election. And I'll say this, despite Courtney's loss at the ballot box, she did not retreat from her advocacy and her interest in QPS. She remained as co-president of Citywide PTO, and amidst the pandemic, she helped serve as a voice for parents with questions, and then sought and was appointed to QPS's reopening task force. They met all summer long, as the superintendent will tell you. Task force remains active today and engaged as we move from remote to hybrid and hopefully back to in-person learning. And Courtney not only has been a presence, but she's been a voice for parents. Finally, I've known Courtney personally for 15 years. She's always been active in her community. She puts service above self. She's hardworking and passionate and has always been a true advocate for Quincy Public School students as well as parents.
I, Courtney Perdios,
I, Courtney Perdios,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will be of true faith and allegiance
that I will be of true faith and allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and will support the Constitution thereof.
and will support the Constitution thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Courtney Perdios,
I, Courtney Perdios,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all
the duties incumbent upon me
as a member of the Quincy School Committee,
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my abilities
and understanding,
agreeably
to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
the laws of this Commonwealth,
the laws of this Commonwealth,
and the ordinances of the City of Quincy.
and the ordinances of the City of Quincy.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Courtney Perdios,
I, Courtney Perdios,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The annual Lunar New Year Festival in Quincy, hosted by Quincy Asian Resources, is always one of the most anticipated events of the year. The 33rd edition of the festival, held on February 14th of this year, took on a different look due to the pandemic. Held virtually, the celebration featured entertainment, demonstrations, and plenty of fun for everyone. The festival, of which QATV was proud to help produce, was shown live right here on QATV Channel 8 and streamed live on QATV.org and on QuincyAsianResources.org. Here's some highlights of the festival.
Welcome to the 33rd Annual Quincy Lunar New Year Festival. My name is Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources. First, I want to wish everyone a good, safe, and healthy year in the Year of the Ox. 首先，我祝大家身體健康、心想事成、恭喜發財。
I want to first of all express my gratitude to Quincy Asian Resources for not missing a beat in responding to the needs of our community. Philip Chong, the staff, the board, and all the volunteers continue to be incredibly creative in dealing with the issues at hand. So thank you for that. We appreciate the continued partnership. We're going into the Year of the Ox, which is a positive, encouraging theme to ushering in the new year. The theme includes strength, resilience, and reliability. And that certainly speaks to Quincy Asian Resources.
My name is Jimmy Lang, and I'm the CEO of JP Fuji Group.
Hey guys, my name is Ming. I'm the head of sushi for JP Fuji Group.
And today we're here to show you how to do a very simple avocado salad. It's actually on our menu. It's super simple to make, and you can make it at home. You're gonna mix everything together. That's all it is that needs to be done. It's just a whole lot of mixing because everything's been cut. Like I said, it's a very simple and easy recipe. Salad greens on the bottom. Thank you, Chef Ming. So there you have it.
And welcome to City of Quincy's 33rd Lunar New Year Festival. This year is the Year of the Ox, and the theme for the festival is the characteristics of the ox, which is resilience, reliability, strength, and healing.
The City of Quincy said goodbye to Ruth Jones, who recently retired after more than 20 years at the Quincy Health Department, first as a public health nurse, then as commissioner. Ruth was an avid contributor to Quincy Access TV. Ruth was often seen on programs such as FYI, the Quincy Health Department, or Health Links, providing information about various health topics. She was also featured on PSAs about upcoming health department programs and services, and even on the sidelines of parades, co-hosting QATV's coverage of the Quincy Christmas Parade. QATV will miss Ruth around the studio, and we wish her well in retirement. Here now are some samples of Ruth's work here at QATV.
The coronavirus, it's also known as COVID-19. I want to start with a definition because that will get folks, I guess, ready for what we will discuss after.
Right, and I think people have probably, like you say, every time you turn the TV on, you see this. And so we want to make sure people get the correct information and right up-to-date information. So coronaviruses have been around for a long time. This is just a short 5-minute little piece about the self-defense class watching some things, and maybe you both could comment on this as we run that footage. Here we go here, and so this is just some strikes and how to protect yourself for some strikes. And I can remember being in here, how I was, I had to be taught to be a little bit assertive when I was.
The most important thing is for us women is being comfortable with touch and closeness by a stranger.
So this isn't technique as much as it is getting your feet wet and feeling comfortable interacting with somebody.
Right.
Learning how to hit someone, and whether you can or once you've hit someone, you can start getting good at it.
Right.
Usually people will start off with 1 or 2 sets when they first begin, and as your muscle mass increases and your strength increases, then you can increase the number of repetitions, or you can increase the amount of weight that you're using on the machine. So you can actually strengthen your muscles using both methods and gradually increase it. You want to make sure that you do this slowly. You don't want to tax any muscle too much and strain it so that you injure it. So you have to work slowly and you know how you feel. You don't want to be hurting at the end of your workout.
Ooh, brownies, candy, chocolate. That looks great. Go ahead, eat it. You're gonna love it. She'll never know. You don't want to be doing that. You've worked way too hard. Remember, once on the lips, forever on the hips. Don't touch it. Go get an apple.
And that's why there's a shortage of dog treats. Now, over to Lydia for some upcoming information about a rabies clinic. Lydia?
Phew, that was a rough journey. You know, Chief Tom, I sure could use something to eat. Turkey sounds pretty good, but you know, poultry products like turkey and chicken are primary sources of the bacteria Salmonella and Campylobacter.
Oh, it looks like they're having a Halloween party without me. How dare they? I'll get that chocolate and candy corn too. Lydia, take your army. Get them, fly, fly. Oh, and by the way, make sure before you eat your candy, you wash your hands. No, not me, no, I'm melting, melting. And is transmitted by a bite from an infected animal.
To avoid rabies exposure.
Oh, he blew it already. Okay. Go away, Drew. And I'm Professor Jones. Damn it, I'm Professor Jones. Sorry. Wait a minute, Mark. Stop it.
Clayton Cheever, Assistant Director of the Thomas Crane Public Library, recently left his position to become the Director of the Morrow Memorial Library in Norwood. Clayton was often seen on QATV hosting library programs and keeping patrons up to date on the latest programs and happenings at the Thomas Crane Library. QATV wishes Clayton the best of luck at his new position, and we offer this goodbye video of some of Clayton's appearances on QATV.
Welcome to At Your Library. I'm Clayton Cheever, Assistant Director at the Thomas Crane Public Library. Please join me for a look at some of the free events our library is offering this December. I'm not going to have time to mention everything happening at the library this month, so be sure to visit our website at thomascranelibrary.org to view a complete list of what we have going on and learn about our other library services. Now, nearly every month we showcase local talent in our library art gallery. Perhaps you or someone you know would like to be considered for a future showing. Please go to our website or contact me to get more details. We are celebrating traditional Chinese culture. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
It's great to see you, and it's so much fun to celebrate Chinese culture here in Quincy, where we have so much Chinese culture as part of the city.
The ending surprises in its almost defiant, soul-refreshing passion. Elises and Julie chose the painting Starry Night by the 19th century Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh to accompany this elegy. Van Gogh suffered from mental illness as well, likely manic depression.
So I'm talking today with Jamie Sprague from Manic Community Health Center. Here at the Thomas Crane Public Library, it's really important to us to help foster community and help people be as healthy and well as possible. These are really hard times, and we want to do what we can to help. We're not there on the streets really helping people, though, with their health needs, there's people in our community like Jamie who are doing that. So I'm really grateful, Jamie, that you joined us today, joined me today to talk about what you've been up to during COVID. So welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. We love all the work that the library does, and we are really glad to be partners with you all over there.
Every year, more than 650,000 people visit. This venerable institution has been at the center of Quincy life for over 140 years.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. And usually he does a oh, whoa, where'd the library go? I think I said Sophia. Oh, I'm in the dungeon now. Oh.
I hope you've enjoyed our conversation. Why can't I spit out words? It's so frustrating. I can talk forever, and then I just try to talk to the camera, and it does me in.
Yeah, my recording just froze. I'm sorry. So let's back up. I think we're good. And maybe on my side, I've got like 3 people that are on video over here too. So I just was talking about how the Village people weren't writing for a straight audience, but they certainly. And now I got a doorbell of dogs over here. All right. I think everybody at my house is on the phone. I'll be right back. Just a second. Sorry.
QATV has been a longtime partner of the Quincy Public Schools and is proud to be part of the Quincy School Community Partnership Program. Each year, students in the Quincy High School Film and Television Program intern here at QATV, working on productions and editing programs to provide a better understanding of life in the TV production world. Recently, 3 students completed their internship, each producing a PSA about upcoming classes and workshops here at QATV. Let's take a look at their work.
Whoa, how is he so good at interviewing?
He took QATV's interviewing course, of course.
I certainly did. I learned how to prepare an interview, the do's and don'ts of interviewing, and the best questions to ask to make an impact on viewers. And now, I know how to conduct a good interview with anyone. To register for a session, email Carol Themin at cthemin@qatv.org or call 617-376-1440.
Are you looking to shoot a video but do not have a camcorder? Well, if you have a device such as a phone or a tablet, you have the ability to record and shoot with that. With a device by your side, you can record anytime without much setup and heavy equipment. At Quincy Access Television, you can join our class to learn cool tips and tricks to help shoot a video with your device, such as learning how to use external mics and to use lenses on your camera. To register for a session on iPhone Video 101, please email Carol Themin at cthemin@qatv.org or call 617-376-1440.
Hey, do you want to make videos but just don't know where to start? Or maybe you just want to take a dive into the video world. If this sounds like you or someone you may know, QATV has an answer to your call. Here at QATV, we are offering an introductory video editing course for people of all ages. You'll learn how to capture and import images, trim video, transition with audio and video, tilt your shot, adjust audio levels, and much more. The editing software used will be completely free and ready to download for at-home use. To register or ask questions, use the contacts below to finally make the leap into the digital world.
Author Joe Pereira, a Quincy resident and a member of QATV, recently published a book titled All Souls Day, The World War II Battle and the Search for a Lost U.S. Battalion. Joe recently gave a presentation at the Quincy Historical Society about the book, the battle, and the search for the lost soldiers.
Okay, here's the town of Comishite. Okay, and this is where this was a part of the story when I came to it, I really got impressed. And this is where Stephen Crane comes into play. There is a very, very thinly layered American defense system over here and along this the outline of this town here. And the tanks that were all caught up, in this trail were caught up over here somewhere. They were not able to negotiate down this trail and come to the aid of the American soldiers that were here in foxholes waiting for the Germans to attack them on the morning of the 6th of November. And over here were about 18 American tanks, Sherman tanks, that couldn't move once again because there was no room on the trail. And as they sat here on the morning of November 6th, they could see 16 German tanks, Panzer tanks, coming down the hill at them from this angle. And they had, all they had was M1 rifles. They had foreseen this on the 5th of November when there was this panic escape that it was a stampede to the rear of the battlefront over here so that they could get away from the Germans who were just too overpowering for them. And there were thousands of soldiers that ran in this direction from around here all the way up this trail and into Wassenack, which is the town that we saw. Wassenack was in the hands of the Americans, and there was just a stampede of soldiers retreating in panic. If you read the book, the generals, not the generals, but the colonels and the captains tried to grab them by their collars to keep them from running away because they needed their guns and they needed their presence to defend against the superpowers of the German forces. But they would just shake loose from the grips of their colonels and captains and run down this trail up to the other side of the hill. And the reason that I thought that this story was really very, very poignant was because there were a handful of soldiers. There were about 200 soldiers, American soldiers belonging to the 112th Regiment who were here, and they didn't budge. They didn't move, and they stood there and they sat there, crouched in the foxholes, knowing that they were not going to be able to defeat the tanks that were coming at them the next morning. And the night before, the Germans, this is where the Germans were also humanitarians. They were a little bit sympathetic to the Americans who were just sitting here like sitting ducks. And so at night, they came down these slopes here, close enough for the Americans to hear them. And they said to the Americans in English, do you want to give up? Do you want to surrender? The Americans didn't reply back. All they did was shot their guns into the air, to the night air. And that was their signal to the Germans to get lost, that they were going to defend their positions the next day. And the next day, the Germans came in down with 16 tanks against 200 American soldiers. It was just no match. And they just stood there and they fought back as much as they could.
That's all for this edition of Quincy in Focus. If you'd like more information about Quincy Access TV or are interested in becoming a member, visit our website at qatv.org or call 617-376-1440. My name is Jonathan Caleri, and thanks for watching this edition of Quincy in Focus.